this is a bit of a different formatting than usual. I am also filming this on my phone, so the audio quality is going to be absolute shit. Ignore that, it's fine. Anyway, rate the fit. This is a shirt Eris would wear. I'm slowly developing like a little collection of chaotic shirts solely for her. But anyway, so as most of you know, my baby, my child, my beloved, if you will, is turning 4. That is insane. So today, what better way to celebrate than making a cake of the main antagonist? That's what we're doing. Let me show you the haul of the ingredients I got, and let me explain my thought process. Okay, so the base flavor, lemon, because he is sour as fuck. I got 2 of them to account for his big ass horns. Let's see. Whipped icing, just white, because I got food coloring. You can see purple colors for obvious reasons. I have been severely lied to. What do you mean? And then we have sparkly glitter sprinkles, because yes, queen. And then this for the markings, which I hope doesn't taste too artificial, but it's fine, it's fine. And then we have, aww. I was going to have a whole bit going on in this video where I was gonna make a custom Hikaru shirt, and then just with the caption like, "Have you seen this man?" And I was gonna wear it and not say anything about it in the video, but I didn't have time, so that sucks. So this is my thought process, right? So I'm thinking this be big ass bald head. And then I don't have like real smaller tins, but I'm thinking of just going with these with the excess batter, and then manually cutting out the horns in his ears and putting it all together like a big old puzzle. It could go wrong, but you know what? If it does, then it still exists. Literally 4 years ago, Amplified wasn't supposed to be uploaded. So when I first started writing it, it was around the time when I had watched Sons of Garmadon for the first time, and I don't know how, this was like 2021, I don't know how I wasn't spoiled up until this point, but I was recently getting back into the Ninjago fandom, and I was like, oh wow, they really kept going with these seasons, that's really cool. I'm bored, you know, it's summer, I have nothing to do aside from like a weekend job. Let me go and just binge watch this and see what happens. And so I remember, like, again, I wasn't spoiled, so when Harumi was first brought into the picture, I was like, oh damn, fandom's really gonna hate this, I know it, because everyone loves Lloyd, man. It sucks that they gave him an official love interest. And then I was floored when they actually made her a twist villain. I love that. I love that so much. And then from there, I was like, okay, well now I'm getting back into it. Like, I was into Ninjago when I was a kid, obviously. And then I just kind of fell out of it for a while. I don't remember when, maybe around like, I remember watching Skybound, so I don't know. Anyway, long story short, fell out of it, didn't really pay much attention to it until like 2021. Got back into watching it, and then I was like, wait a minute, I'm bored. It's summer, I have 3 months of doing basically nothing. I can spend the time writing a stupid, like, one shot of like my own characters, whatever. And you can really tell with the fic how in the beginning I didn't really know what I was doing, because like I said, it was supposed to be just this stupid one shot. It was supposed to stay in my draft files forever, because normally with how I am in fandoms, I don't really become an active part of them. I just kind of lurk in the background, like liking stuff and not really commenting in the start. So I would write a few chapters and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. I like these characters. I like their personalities. I like the way I set it up. And then it just kept going. And at first with I think I got pretty far in it without uploading a single chapter, just reading it to myself. And I remember this particular summer, I worked at a greenhouse nursery. I worked there over the summer, so I was working outside all day for over weekends. And I just remember on my lunch breaks, I would pretty much hype myself up because I would read the draft chapters that I had recently worked on, and I would just be like, oh man, I'm so excited because I myself as the writer don't know what's gonna happen next, because like I said, I didn't plan anything out except for I literally sat down and I said, okay, these are the basic character traits, go off of that, go. And it got to the point where I was like, well, I can't stop now. I've written 40 chapters. I can't put this down. I like these characters too much. Then the summer came to an end and I went back to college around August. And those chapters, I think I stopped around chapter 50 or something like that, and before I ended it. And the chapters just kind of stayed there for a while. I don't remember if at this point I was starting to post because when I first joined Instagram as Winged Wish, I started posting little teasers for it because I was like, well, of course I have to post it now. I've committed too much time. So it still wasn't uploaded completely. And so I remember it's at least a majority of the chapters, except for the first one. I think I uploaded the first one and left it as a teaser for half a year before eventually I was like, well, I really like this fandom. I really like what I've done with these characters. And at this point I started rereading the fic because, again, college started and I kind of had to deal with my classes and work, things like that. And then I started reading it again, started hyping myself up again. I was like, okay, we gotta finish it. We gotta go through. We have to commit. We already have so much plot development. Oh, by the way, Hikaru wasn't supposed to exist. He just kind of showed up. I don't know. Again, I went in with no plan. So I was really into writing it and decided, okay, well now I have to finish it. Now I have to start uploading it. And around that time I started uploading it, so closer to 2022 is when it officially started being really released, aside from just one teaser. After that it got crazy because people started actually reading it and commenting on it, and that also hyped me up more. And I was like, well, now I really have to finish it because, of course, I can't just leave it at that. I can't leave it at a random 50th chapter. So now we're here. And I don't know how we got here, but we are here, and that's okay. But literally in the start, this was just supposed to be a stupid practice one-shot for me to just, I guess, kind of play around with the universe, make my own characters, not really do much with them, but it turned into meeting a bunch of cool people and actually being involved in this community. I don't know, it's been really cool. It's insane to me thinking back and thinking about how I was pretty much going to let the entirety of the fic just stay in drafts forever, because I genuinely at first didn't really intend much to come out of it, but now I've met a lot of cool people. You know exactly who you are. I don't need to say any names, you know who you are. Cut to today, that same work that was supposed to stay a 600 word draft forever has turned into just this amazing group of people who are always looking at my stuff, even if despite the fact that I've taken a little bit of a hiatus in the past year. I've been on and off Instagram or whatever writing, haven't really posted much. You guys still support me through that, and that really means a lot to me. I cannot reiterate that enough. We got all the sappy shit out the way for now. I think this is as good as it's gonna get with laying out the batter. Place your bets if my smoke alarm's about to go off, because honestly it's more likely than you think. It's so sensitive. Alright, now we wait. I literally totally forgot. I need to give full credit for this idea to I Am Deep on Wattpad, because literally 1 year ago, they told me I posted something on my Wattpad, I forget what it's called, message board or whatever, talking about Amplified's anniversary, and they recommended I make a cake. And I made the joke that I should make it into Hikaru's face, and they said, okay, now you absolutely need to do that. So until the cake batter's done, I'm just gonna prepare the icing in the meantime. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one we're going for. Now, will it be the same color as this? That is to be seen. So already I've come across a problem. So this shade that's on the tube does not match that at all. So I'm just gonna add some of the black coloring to this and hope for the best. Worst case, Hikaru's blue now.
What the fuck is that guy?
Okay, so I've been mixing for like 5 minutes and it's still just barely a darker blue. You know what, we're just gonna go with it because that does not, something's wrong here. You know what, I really should have seen this coming because of course, how else would me making a Hikaru cake go if not total chaos in the midst of everything? Like, of course, it just makes sense. All right, I think this is as good as it's gonna get, unfortunately. But this is just haunting me because not only do they have like the purple-esque icing just there on the cover, no, the whole cover is in purple. So it's mocking me. I've already managed to almost break this cake in half, but it's okay because once I put on the icing, you can't even tell. And now I'm gonna attempt to do the ears and the horns, which I am going to have to, oh my gosh, I have to make room for the horns. This is gonna be ridiculous. Beautiful. He would be proud. He would be proud of what I'm doing right now and totally wouldn't try and kill me in my dreams like he's been doing. It's working out. It's now for the horn time, and this is totally not gonna go bad. Honestly, I might just be able to use the excess pieces. Let's see if I can make this work. I'm mad at how decent this looks. This doesn't look as awful as I imagined it would. Okay, now we just have to put all the blue icing that was supposed to be purple on this guy. Yeah, while I do this, I can tell the funny story of how this guy actually wants to kill me. Never before have I had a character that I've created so very clearly loathe me, and I don't know what it is about Hikaru, but dude just wants me dead, I guess. I'm sure most of you have already heard this story a bunch of times, but I don't think you get it. I think a few of you think I'm joking. I'm not. Like, in my dreams, I just have a totally normal dream. And then boom, Hikaru in the corner just wants me dead. So I've had 3 total that I can remember. And in one of them, I remember just, in a dream, you don't really know it's a dream, right? And that's how it is for me in some of these scenarios. But whenever he's there, I'm just like, oh yeah, that dude's real, that's totally real, coming to kill me. Fight or flight response immediately. So I remember in one dream, I jumped out of a window to get away from him. Specifically, modern AU version of Hikaru, and that in itself is terrifying. So immediately jumped out of a window. That was my best course of action, apparently. And I guess it worked because I don't remember dying in that dream. And then there was another one that was is really funny to me. Wasn't funny in the dream, but I remember this is a clear testament to how much he despises my existence, apparently, because he didn't track me to a random location. No, I spawned in this dream and I'm in my childhood home, like the home I was in diapers in, and I don't live there anymore. But for some reason, I just remember looking out the window and he's there, because of course he is. And I just remember waking up from that dream and just being so flabbergasted, because how do you know where I used to live like 20 years ago? Long story short, never before have I had a character that I've created actually like legitimately hate me. I've never dreamed about any of my other characters that I've ever created like this. The last one I had was around the time I was finishing up the reference sheets, and it was taking a while. I was working on it for months, probably more than that, honestly. The week I was working on Hikaru's, I remember having a dream where, again, in these dreams, he just is kind of there, and I just kind of accept it in the moment, because again, when you're dreaming, you don't really know you're dreaming, and you don't really have common sense. And I just remember, for some reason, I was in a house, and it was not my house. I don't know whose house I was in, and it was a 2-story. I was just coming downstairs, whatever. Dude is sitting at a kitchen bar, and he just is silent, and he just kind of waves me over with a paper. And in my head, I was like, okay, do I need to run? Like, what is happening? I go over there. Dude hands me a sheet of paper, and I look at it, and it's a reference sheet for a character that I don't own, that's wearing a cape. And he just kind of sadly like points to it like a pathetic wet dog. And I remember just nodding, be like, yeah, buddy, I can add a cape to your design. You want that? And he said nothing in response, but he just kept pointing. And I remember I woke up that morning and I was like, wait, does this mean he still hates me now? Or is this like the requirements for a truce to be called? So I gave him a cape when I finished the ref sheet. And since then, I have not had a dream where he's tried to kill me. Coincidence? Maybe. But did I give him what he wanted? Yes. So maybe that helped. And so now it's time for the real fun part, which could make or break the entire cake, but that's totally fine. Again, he's already blue. We can't do anything about that. That's okay. He's just... Canonically, he's blue now. He's beautiful. Now I just have to figure out what to do with all these sprinkles. Okay, so I think this is as good as it's gonna get. Oh, this is too much. This is so cursed. Now there's only one thing left to do. And with that, he's done. I cannot believe this exists. This is so unbelievably cursed, and now I legitimately have to make room in my fridge and probably also my freezer for the sheer amount of cake that this is. But it was fun to do. With that, I just want to say before wrapping up, genuinely thank you so much for the last 4 years. It's been actually insane. Like I said before, I've met a lot of cool people, made a lot of cool new friends. I had a lot of people who I can talk to about their OCs and their writing journey and other things like that, so it's been really, really awesome. Again, I never expected to get this far in the first place. It's really meant a lot to me, especially since one of my biggest dreams is to one day publish my own books, and all of your support and all of your kind words and just everything you've done, like literally I never could have imagined I would get literal fan art of my stuff. It's just something I never thought possible before, and just all of that support and all of the kindness you all have shown me has been actually insane. With that, I think that's it. See you later, home dogs.